So Trump just said that Somalians don't belong in America anymore. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the Somali community in Minnesota has been falsely diagnosing children with autism to receive taxpayer handouts and taking advantage of the system. They then take those funds and they funnel it back home to Somalia, subsequently funding a terrorist organization known as Al-Shabaab. This new Medicaid system would cost taxpayers $2.6 million, at least that's what they said. The first year, 2020, was $3 million, 2021 was $20 million, and then just 3 years later, it quintupled to $100 million, and 2025 was on track to cost taxpayers $120 million for the year. 40% of Somalian households in Somalia receive remittances from, relatives, friends, family, whatever, in the United States, totaling the annual remittance to Somalia $1.7 billion, which is more than the Somalian government's budget. Here's how it works. The Minnesota taxpayers work hard. They have the job, they pay their taxes, they hope that in return for taking care of the system will take care of them in exchange. It doesn't, because the Somalians who are here are taking advantage. They're misdiagnosing children with autism and claiming to need more government assistance than they really do. They then take the money, the government assistance that they have stolen, the money that they have stolen from taxpayers, and they send it back to Somalia, where it is received by numerous groups, one of which happens to be an Al-Qaeda-backed terror group named Al-Shabaab. Who could have possibly guessed that people coming from a country with an IQ of 67 wouldn't actually contribute anything to society?
I mean, it's the IQ of 67 for me. Anyways, hey beautiful people, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for stopping by. So all credit goes to the creators in these videos, guys. Looks like Somalis are on the chopping block. And this time is something related to Medicaid and autism. So the Trump administration is saying that the Somalis are ripping off the system, scamming autism services, and taxpayers are paying the price. Then it connects it to their TPS and says that Somalis that have TPS will lose that protection and be sent home. So let me break it down for you in simple English, just in case you don't know what Medicaid is. Medicaid is government health insurance for poor people, disabled people, and kids with special needs, including autistic children. And there are autism therapy centers that get paid by Medicaid to help those kids. Now in Minnesota, investigators are saying that some people are cheating the system. They are having fake patients, fake hours, fake therapy, and billed millions to Medicaid. Now some of the people being investigated or charged are from Somali families. Guys, what do you think in the comment section? Because they are saying that Somalis, right, are part of this. They are saying that they have abused the system, they are getting tax payers money, and they are sending it back to their country based on, autistic children. Guys, I'm trying to make sense of the whole thing, and I'm not sure I get the picture yet, because this is where the autism angle comes in. Federal investigators are saying that some autism centers in Minnesota took millions of dollars from Medicaid for autism treatments that may have not really happened, and some of those centers focus on Somalis. Now this accusation is saying that there are fake autism diagnoses, there's fake paperwork, there's fake therapy session, and the real money is from Medicaid. And they are saying that the Somali community is ripping off Medicaid through autism scams. Guys, what do you think about this? I need to know your thoughts in the comments. Let's see what the other creators have to say.
See, the thing about the Somalis in Minnesota is they're just a distraction. They're just the fall guy. Do you think that they're getting these federal grants and state grants without a white person signing off on them? Without a white person benefiting from this money being funneled through their community? The thing is, the same thing has happened in all other communities, but the other communities have been here long enough that they know how to itemize certain expenses. They know the loopholes. They got their lawyers on deck. So they're doing the same shit with the money, but it's just the immigrants are doing it more blatant because they're coming across from overseas so trusting. This is a land of milk and honey. So they hiding cash in their mattresses and shit like that. Whereas these people over here have offshore accounts. They have everything itemized. They have everything expensed a certain way. But it's just a distraction.
Somalis are faking autism to steal money and sending money back home, even to some terrorist organizations. Why is this narrative being pushed on my For You page? What is this? Let's be honest real quick. Firstly, autism funding does not go to parents. You don't get a check for having a child diagnosed with autism. What? The money goes straight to schools, clinics, providers, not families. Yeah. So let's get rid of the idea that Somali parents are profiting from autism. Huh? Ridiculous. Appreciate that. Secondly, autism rates are higher in Somali community. That's real. Yeah, the research says it. It's because of what? Delayed diagnosis, environmental factors, and genetics, not fraud. Appreciate that. Because there's not a single peer-reviewed study that has ever claimed that Somalis are faking diagnosis. Appreciate that. I better not see this nonsense narrative still being pushed into my For You page. Appreciate it.
But guys, between you and I, do you think some parents can, well, the things people do for money anyways, do you think they can actually lie that their child has autism when he or she does not, just to be able to make money? But I mean, you would be shocked at the extent to which people can go because of this thing called legal tender, right? Because it's crazy. When I read it, I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? Because some children may actually have been labeled as autistic, even if they are not, because autism services bring in higher Medicaid funding, and the government is investigating whether some diagnoses were made just to get cash. And according to this guy's video, 4 out of every, I don't know, 6 Somalis children or 7 Somalis children have autism. And guys, although this is not happening to all families or all clinics, but investigators are looking at specific cases, and this is raising a bigger question, because are some people using fake autism diagnosis to make, to get government money? And how many clinics exploded in size just because they saw profits? And guys, is this really about healthcare or about businesses? Because according to research, it said between 2018 and now, the number of autism providers grew from 41 to over 300 in Minnesota alone. And apparently that kind of growth usually takes decades, but this happened in just 2018 to now is about 7 years, yeah? And this happened in just a couple of years, guys. For something that takes decades, now every one of those clinics is under microscope. What do you think, guys? Because this is really, really wild.
News. Somalians in Minnesota are pretending to have autism to steal your taxpayer dollars. In 2023, displaced Somalians sent back $1.7 billion to their Somali government. 40% of households in Somalia get paychecks from Somalis in America. They're getting this cash from scamming COVID programs, SNAP, Medicaid. So for example, autism claims to Medicaid in Minnesota went from 3 million in 2018 to 399 million in 2023. So 1 in 16 Somali 4-year-olds have autism. That autism treatment is then administered by Somalis, reimbursed by federal taxpayer dollars, and then that stolen money is sent back home in the form of remittances, which is just cash as a gift. So essentially, Somali populations in Michigan and Minnesota are running these fraudulent crime rings that no one's talking about. So how did this happen? Well, for the past 30 years, Somalis have been under TPS, temporary protected status in America. Now, usually you only give TPS to some after an earthquake or a tsunami because you can't immediately send them back home to their country. In this case, Somalis just don't want to be sent back home. Somalia is obviously in Africa. It's a third world country. It's a mess because they can't figure out how to govern themselves. But it's not undergoing a natural disaster, so why are they not being sent home? Lord only knows, but after 30 years, President Trump is finally doing away with that policy. He's ended TPS for Somalis. And I would just love for them to stay forever, except the problem is that this group is not assimilated. They view themselves as separate people. They're police officers, they're local leaders, they're news people. They all speak Somali. They do not respect native-born Americans, and in fact, they refer to their white police officers as foreigners. They have ubiquitous control over law enforcement in Dearborn and Minneapolis especially. Here's a video of a police officer apologizing because he exposed Somali criminal activity in Minneapolis.
Out of context in a way that's caused harm, I apologize and I'm sorry for that because that's not my intention.
I mean, there's nothing normal about this. It's been completely and utterly ignored by the media, and it's fraudulent criminal activity that we're just Whatever. But get ready to hear a lot more about it very soon, because I have a feeling the Trump administration is going in, deporting, and cracking down on the fraud that's grown rampant in these northern cities. I don't need my taxpayer dollars being sent to Somalia, thanks.
Guys, honestly, in no capacity should we condone bad behavior. And if the fact that you can even do that to your child, right? The fact that you can tell a big fat lie against your child just because the health of your child, I mean, just because you want to get money or just because you want to make money for somebody, I mean, it's crazy. And for that reason, I feel if anybody is found guilty, they should be sent back to their country, right? Especially if they're under this TPS and they are not even legalized citizen or what have you. So, because for that reason alone, guys, and now that, Trump is about, immigration and all of that, he would not even hesitate to send them back, guys. For this reason, the fact that a family can just, tell that kind of lie, say the child has autism when he or she has not, is wild, guys. It's really, really wild. But that's just to show the extent people can go because of money, guys. This situation is just twisted. Anyways, let me know what you think in the comment section, because whether you agree or not, this case is no longer small, and it might just affect how autism is being diagnosed, how Medicaid is built, and maybe even how immigration policies will be shaped in the future, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I really want to hear from you. And if you have found value in this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in my next video. Please stay safe. Mental health is important. Ciao.